What's up, fans of the NBA? Dom2K on the mic, and welcome to my favorite time of the year, free agent frenzy. Now, once every summer, teams get a chance to change their fortunes around. You get to maybe get a superstar free agent, dreams come true, get broken, especially if you're a Mavericks fan, but we're going to save that for a little later. It's where every single summer, Laker fans swear they're going to get a superstar free agent. This summer it was LaMarcus Aldridge, last year it was Carmelo Anthony, next year it's going to be Wilt Chamberlain, but they end up with Roy Hibbert instead. It's where your owner can talk way too much, telling the media that if we hadn't assigned this superstar big man, we would have tanked. And then that superstar big man promptly ignores every phone call, ignores all your texts, and guards his house, or his door rather, with a chair so you can't get in, and signs with his former team after giving you his word that he was going to sign with you. Yeah. Free agent frenzy. This is as crazy as it's been in a while. What's up, fans of the NBA? Don't know who your team is if you're out there listening. Don't know who you signed. Don't know if you're happy or if you're depressed like me and your biggest triumph was David Lee. Don't know any of that, but I'm getting into the winners, the losers, and everything in between of free agency so far. Now, I recorded one, let's say 5 days ago, probably. I don't know. I recorded one a few days ago, but then I waited, and I am glad I waited because I had it rendered and everything. And then this whole DeAndre Jordan fiasco went down. The Spurs got somebody, the Heat. I'm just glad I waited until the moratorium period was over, which is also something else I'm going to be discussing. But yeah, everything said in this video is my opinion. You don't have to share it. And I'm not going to mention every team as far as I know, but I'm going to mention notable moves. Going to go over, definitely not all of them because that would take too long. I'm not going over every move, just going over a lot of the good situations, most notable situations, all that good stuff. So just know that if your team didn't get shit in free agency and I trashed them for it, you don't have to hate me because my Celtics didn't get shit either. We really didn't. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and hop right into this. I guess I should start with the bad news first, just because that's probably most exciting, and it's actually the least too, as far as what I've had written down here. So yeah, we're gonna start with the losers of free agency thus far, and I don't think it's gonna change because there's not any big name, there's not really any huge names left. So here's the losers. First of all, we got the New York Knicks. They've been catching L's since the draft night, where they took Kristaps Porzingis with the fourth pick. And I'm not one of the people, I was actually one of the people defending him, saying, at least give the man a chance to play. And I still agree we should give him a chance to play. But I've been watching Summer League, and I can already see that there's probably about 5 people they should have taken before him. And I know some people would say, oh, well, how do you judge it off of Summer League? I'm not saying Kristaps Porzingis can't never be good, but I do see a lot of people whose body just looks physically more ready, whereas Kristaps Porzingis looks like a project where if he's good, it's going to be a few years from now. I'm just judging that off of his size. But anyways, that's all draft night. New York Knicks, they just didn't really hit like you would have hoped for free agency. I mean, they made some decent pickups. They're going to be better than last year. They got Aaron Aflalo to sign with them. They got Robin Lopez to sign with them. Those are some of the most notable ones. But at the end of the day, I think we can all agree New York didn't really hit like we would have hoped. LaMarcus Aldridge, I heard, canceled his meeting with New York because they wanted him to play center, and he just wasn't going to do that. So no big names, Jordan Carmelo, but they're going to be better, But they're still losers of free agency. I think they're definitely still losers right now because they didn't really get anything worth noting. So I don't want to stay too long on that. That's the Knicks. If you're a Knicks fan, just watch my series that I run with 2K. That'll cure your depression. The Nets, I think they lost big time. I think the Brooklyn Nets, on like the first day of free agency, spent $110 million between Brook Lopez and Thaddeus Young. Now, I've later found out that that's all relative because contracts are getting really, really big with the TV deal that's coming up, so the contracts are still relative. But I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how Thaddeus Young makes $50 million because he's a role player. No, I'm not shitting on the man or anything. You're a professional, get your money, but damn, that's a lot of money for Thaddeus Young. And obviously the Nets have been kind of in a hellhole since Darren Williams. I mean, they signed Darren Williams to a huge contract, and he's done nothing but decline since then. You got Joe Johnson, who's the worst contract in NBA history, and he's I know they're trying to dump him somewhere. I heard maybe he's going to the Cavaliers or whatnot, and they've been stuck for a while. Then they just tried to buy a championship with the Nets when they got Pierce and KG, but of course we all know. And yeah, since then nothing has really went right for them. So yeah, the Nets, they really didn't get anything, and you could look forward to another season of, you know, just Nets basketball, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna skip them. I'm gonna get them last. Huge losers of free agency. You know, they have one really bright spot, but the rest is lost, is the Blazers. You know, we can all agree here. They completely, in my opinion, they've fallen out of playoff contingency in the West because they lost the whole team. You lost LaMarcus Aldridge, you lost Wesley Matthews, you lost Nick Batum. I mean, they lost everyone, man. Like, my boy Damian, he got left. He really got left. Like, whew, he got left. But, you know, on the other hand, he got his life-changing money. He got signed to a over $100 million contract. And that's the one bright spot for Portland, because now, you know, you have your superstar for the future. You got him locked up, and you have time to put things around him. But yeah, for this particular free agency, they lost because their whole team dipped. And, you know, with that whole team gone and how tough the West is, maybe if they were in the East, they could make it. But, you know, in the West, that's not going to happen. And even in the East this year, the East is going to be tougher probably. So I don't even know then. So, yeah, the Blazers, they lost free agency. Sorry to say it. You know, there's just no other way to put it. They lost all their major pieces that made them good. And, that is all I have. No, my bad. That's not all I have for losers. These actually went from winners to losers, and I think we all know it. It's the most notorious situation that's been going on over the few days. The Dallas Mavericks. Honestly, this could have its own video, but it's not going to, because I feel like everyone's probably said everything they need to say about it. And it's a terrible thing. I'm going to try to fit two things into one here. One, the Mavs lost free agency because obviously they signed DeAndre Jordan. And then, you know, he dipped on them. That moratorium, that 9-day period that you have to, you know, decide if, you know, you really want to be with the team or not. The Clippers, they flew out to him. They persuaded him to stay. Actually, I heard a report that DeAndre Jordan called Doc Rivers to, you know, say that he made a mistake or whatever, and he wanted to be with them. And the Mavericks, they lost big time. Here's what I think. I'm going to try to fit this because I don't want this to go on forever. I think the moratorium period should definitely, you know, be eliminated, only because I look at it and this could become a trend where you sign DeAndre Jordan. Let's just use the Mavericks, for example, since it happened to them. They signed DeAndre Jordan. And that said, oh shit, I did not know my chair was messed up like that, my bad. You sign DeAndre Jordan and you say, okay, so we're going to adjust our financial situation and our roster space because we have the guy we need now. So therefore, you don't pursue anybody else. You know, your plan B, your plan C, you don't pursue them with the money that you set aside for Jordan. And then on the last day before he's supposed to ink his contract, he dips on y'all and says, never mind. And now all your plan B, C, D, E, F, G, they're all committed to another team and you can't do anything about it. So then you end up with what they had now. They done traded for Zaja Pachulia. They gave Wes Matthews, you know, more money than he's worth. But, you know, props to him for sticking to his word because, you know, he thought DJ was going to be there and he definitely could have dipped. And, yeah, I think the moratorium period is a horrible thing, honestly, because I know, you know, teams like DeAndre Jordan, I will say that, you know, I'm happy for him that he made the decision for his career, because at the end of the day, you know, NBA career does not last forever. You got to make the right choice for you. I always thought the Clippers were the better choice because, especially with Paul Pierce, they're contenders. It's Los Angeles. I had no clue why you would go to Dallas in the first place. But I also say that, you know, the way he did the Mavericks was kind of shitty because he ignored their calls. He didn't talk to them or anything. You know, they held the man hostage basically at his house. They done locked out the Mavericks representatives and all that. And, yeah, that whole situation, it's a fiasco. I think you guys have all heard about it. There's no reason for me to rant on it forever. I could make an entire video about it. But just know that Dom 2K's feelings are that, you know, DeAndre Jordan, I'm happy you didn't sign a contract, so you weren't legally bound. You weren't legally bound to that team. And I'm not mad at you for giving them your word and then leaving because, you know, NBA teams, they fuck over players all the time. I was watching NBA Open Court one day, and Chris Webber was talking about, you know, one of his teammates, they gave him, I think don't quote me on that. I don't remember if it was Chris Webber, but one of them said that, you know, the teammates had talked to the team and asking if he was going to be traded, and he was like, oh no, you're not going to be traded, and they traded him the next day. So these teams aren't loyal, you know, these teams are not loyal to players, and you know, he didn't sign the contract, so he had every right to go back to the Clippers. But I do think that this is just exposed a flaw in the NBA free agency system that I didn't know existed because I've never seen this situation. Moratorium period needs to go, absolutely, because you can't, I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair for a team to set aside all their resources for this star they think they have, and on the last minute he leaves and then they get nothing. You know, the Mavericks are fucked now. And Mark Cuban said they were going to tank without him when he thought they had him, and he left. So, yeah, you Dallas fans, you pretty much know what you have to look forward to next year. So, all I want to say about the Mavericks, I don't want to stay on them forever because that's been a hot topic last few days. Those are my feelings on it, and I want to cover other teams too. Because if I wanted to stay on this all day, I would have just made a separate video about it. And I don't make a video for everything that happens. So, yeah, let's move on. Those were my losers, by the way. If I forgot anybody, tell me. I just wrote some teams down. I said I wasn't doing them all. Okay, before I do winners, I'm gonna go to the middle, everything in between. So these are the teams that I have on everything in between, and here's why. The Los Angeles Lakers. Now, even though I just fucked with y'all Laker fans at the beginning of the video on my intro, it's only because it's true. I mean, I'm not for real. Like, I hear y'all every summer say y'all gonna get a superstar free agent. I wanted y'all to get a superstar free agent though, because I wanted to see Kobe go out on the right foot. No pun intended. But yeah, y'all got this summer. Y'all are in the middle because it looked like y'all lost. I had y'all in losers 5 days ago, but y'all made some good moves. Y'all signed Lou Williams. Y'all traded for Hibbert. You got Brandon Bass from us. Fuck y'all for that. And y'all got y'all drafted pretty nice too. I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm gonna watch D'Angelo Russell play tonight, and I thought they should have taken Okafor. But anyways, yeah, the Lakers, a good, it's aside from all the jokes and all that stuff about, y'all saying y'all are going to get everyone every summer. Y'all did, this is going to be a better team than last year. You got the 6th man of the year. You got Roy Hibbert, who, if Roy Hibbert could just, be confident in himself, which might be hard now that he's playing with Kobe, because, Kobe, he'll tell you the truth. But if they can get Roy Hibbert to at least channel some of what he was doing in 2013. I mean, it's not like the dude got older and just like lost his step. He just lost his confidence. I don't know what happened. The dude looked really good against Miami, and there's not a lot of big men in the league anyway, so that could potentially be a good pickup for y'all. It was a high reward, low risk move, low risk, high reward move for y'all. So that was a good move. Y'all got Brandon Bass. He plays hard. He's a good player. He has a good shot. And then D'Angelo Russell and Randall, they're both basically rookies in my mind because Randall didn't get any more experience than Russell did. It depends on those two guys. How good are they going to be? Because if those rookies come in and they surprise us and they have a really good, they turn out to be really good rookies, on top of what you guys have, I mean, y'all might not be as miserable as you were last year. So, yeah, Lakers, y'all definitely, I say y'all are in between because I still can't call you guys winners just because, like, I was hearing all these things about Kevin Love, LaMarcus Aldridge. Y'all tried to have 2 meetings with him. Jimmy Butler, which wasn't going to happen anyways because the Bulls were just never going to let him go. So yeah, you struck out on basically every major free agent that you wanted, but y'all, you capped off nicely though, because it looked like y'all were about to fall into oblivion again. But good for y'all. Y'all did pretty good. I like Kobe, so I don't want to see him, finish his career on a horrible, 60-loss team. All right, let's move on. I put the Raptors, I put them in the middle also because, they signed DeMarre Carroll, and in my opinion, and they signed Luis Scola too, but DeMarre Carroll is obviously the one, I wanted to focus on. DeMarre Carroll, he's a good defender, and he seems a lot like a system player to me, honestly. Like the Hawks, I saw a lot of system players this year, so, last year, if you watch my commentaries from last year, I said specifically I always thought the Raptors were pretenders that whole year. I thought they were pretenders, and I was right. They got swept as soon as they got to the playoffs. He's not a star, he's not an all-star, he's not a superstar, but I mean, he's a solid pickup for you guys. Now, I can't call it a win, like I said, because I want to see the Raptors start taking those steps to become an elite team, because I told you guys last year, they were not an elite team. I said I was one of the first people to look straight through the Raptors and just say, this is not an elite basketball team, and it wasn't. It was not an elite team. I'd like to see them make some moves to become that elite team. I know they spoke with LaMarcus Aldridge, which they didn't really have a chance to get him, but they spoke with him, and yeah, I mean, they made a decent move. Like I said, they're in the middle. They're not a loser. They're definitely not a loser. You could even call them a winner if you want to. Like I said, I just have my standards kind of high, so they're in the middle for me. Let's move on. Okay, the Pacers. This is as in the middle as you can possibly get for the Pacers. So I woke up, I saw that they signed Monte Ellis, and I'm like, yo, shit, they just got Monte Ellis on the team with Paul George, David West, or Roy Hibbert. I'm like, they're gonna have a squad next year. Like, they're gonna be back, Pacers are gonna be back in the mix like they were those years when LeBron was in Miami. And then Roy Hibbert gets traded, and David West says he's not coming back because he doesn't like how they treated Roy Hibbert. And here's why y'all are in the middle. Y'all obviously aren't losers, because I can't call you a loser for getting Monte Ellis. That's a great basketball player. I can't call you a loser. But at the same time, it's like, okay, now I want to see what you guys are going to do in the middle, because you lost 2 big pieces. Now, Roy Hibbert might not be confident. He might have lost some confidence. but when he's on the court, when Paul George is on the court, I think we all agree that entire team is better. And I think that, you know, he's still 7 feet tall. You know, he's prone to be a threat. Anytime you're 7 feet tall, you're prone to be a threat if you can play a little bit of basketball. You lost him, and you very, very quality power forward in David West. And to me, that is going to be extremely hard to replace. I do like y'all rookie. I've been keeping an eye on him in Summer League, Miles Turner. He can play some basketball, so maybe he's going to have to start in one of those positions. But yeah, y'all are as in the middle as you could possibly get. And I am getting a call. Pause. All right, I'm good. So that's about all I have to say about the Indiana Pacers. Right in the middle, because you gained one good piece, and I really wish y'all could have kept the other two, but y'all lost two really big ones. So, you know, it's gonna really depend on Paul George's comeback and all that good stuff. So let's move on. Waste no time here, because I'm trying to get through a lot of teams. The Suns, I have them in the middle again. You guys played Brandon Knight a lot of money, so we're gonna have to hope that he can produce like he was when he was with the Bucks before he got traded to the Suns. And you know, a big dark horse move, I didn't see this coming at all, but Tyson Chandler is a veteran. I thought veterans wanted to win rings. I don't know, you know, he randomly just went to Phoenix. So y'all got him. Y'all cleared some space for LaMarcus Aldridge, which I don't, you know, you didn't trade much for him, but you got rid of a Morris brother. I don't know why, because it's like, I don't know why they cleared all that space for a player it wasn't certain that they were going to get. But I really do like Tyson Chandler. I like his defense, like his rebounding. And, you know, there's not a lot of great centers in the league anyways. So, you know, that was a good move for you guys. And as far as I know, you guys didn't really have a great center, a real center anyways. Like, I know Plumlee, I'm pretty sure Plumlee was there. But he's not like a true legit center. So, yeah, you know, good work. You got Tyson Chandler, Brandon Knight. You're in the middle, like I said, because, you know, you didn't really nab a big name or anything like that. Anything that's game changing. Still don't know if you're going to make the playoffs in the West. So that's why I put the Suns. Really interesting that I would have these guys in the middle, but I honestly put the Kings in the middle. The reason I put the Kings in the middle is, I know that they signed Rajon Rondo, and I really like the signing by Bellinelli because he's a sharpshooter. Now, here's why I put it in the middle, because it's only for 1 year, so it's good. This is just a test. And it's to see, can Rajon Rondo get his basketball career back on track. I think a lot of people are prisoners of the moment when talking about Rondo, because I saw the stupidest comment online. I was on a sports forum the other day, and this dude was saying, you know, oh, Rondo's so bad, you know, he needs to play this season in China or something like that. Like, I was like, what? Like, Rondo, you know, I hate that about a lot of NBA fans, is that, you know, one day they'll be calling you the best, you know, a top 5 point guard, shooting guard, whatever in the NBA. Then, you know, you have one bad stint, and then all of a sudden you're at the bottom of the barrel again. And it's like, you know, give Rondo a chance. Like, the dude was having a good season with Boston with not a lot of talent around him. He went to the Mavericks. He didn't like it there, and he didn't fit the offense or whatever they were doing over there. I agree he shouldn't have quit on them like he did, but like I said, give the man a chance, because we've seen anybody who's a basketball, you know, knowledge knows that Rondo can play some basketball when he's in the right situation. And I applaud the Kings, because they definitely needed somebody, you know, with that situation that's brewing with George Karl and DeMarcus Cousins. Like, you know, y'all don't treat DeMarcus Cousins right. He's gonna leave y'all the first chance he gets. So it's a good thing that they signed him. I just want to see how it's going to work personality-wise. I know DeMarcus is a very itchy, edgy personality. Rajon Rondo, same exact thing with him, and they're in the same locker room. So this is either going to go really, really good, or this is going to go really, really bad. And we're going to see how it's going to go. But I like it. I mean, Rondo, Bellinelli, Rudy Gay, DeMarcus Cousins. I like Rondo and Rudy Gay together. So we're going to see how that works. That's in the middle, like I said, only because I would have them as winners if I had full insurance that Rondo was going to be fully committed. So we'll see how that works out. But, you know, if you're a Kings fan, you should be happy, because you guys, I was in the 2nd grade last time they were relevant. So, and I put that in perspective. I'm in my 3rd year of college now. So that's yeah, they haven't been relevant in a while. And a team that I have in the middle that you really probably wouldn't think would be here, the Chicago Bulls. Now, they signed Jimmy Butler, and that's good. They locked him up, because I heard some things about him wanting to leave. Obviously, he was restricted, so he couldn't leave, you know, regardless. But the thing that I'm worried about with the Bulls is they haven't changed their roster, and a lot of teams have. Now, last year, they got beat by an unhealthy Cavaliers team in the 2nd round in 6 games. And they haven't signed anyone. You know, they got Gasol obviously last season. They're a great team, and you know, if Derrick Rose can stay healthy, maybe they will, you know, make a push. But they, you know, this is kind of classic. I think if you go back and watch one of my old commentaries, I talked about how the Bulls never get better in free agency. Like last year was like the first time I had seen them get better in free agency in a long time. You know, they made like with that year they signed Carlos Boozer. Like they make one big signing and then they go for years without really adding anything. And yeah, I mean they got, you know, you didn't let Jimmy Butler walk, so that was good, but you know, you haven't added anything either, so that's why they're in the middle on my list. So yeah, those are all the in the middle teams. Before I go to winners, I just wanted to give an honorable mention because I don't exactly have them in the winners round. It's to the Pelicans. You guys locked up who is, in my opinion, is going to be the best player in the NBA once LeBron James loses a few steps. Anthony Davis locked him up for a lot of money, $145 million, and you guys got him for a long time too. So the Pelicans, I think with Portland falling out, I think the Pelicans playoff spot is safe because one of the reasons they made it last year was because the Thunder fell out and that opened up a spot. So now their spot should be safe, and I think they're going to be really good for the future. You know, who doesn't want to play with Anthony Davis? One of these summers we're going to get somebody good shit. That's my honorable mention. I mean, y'all might as well be in the winner's circle for getting him. I don't know why I said honorable mention, but you know, take it how you want it. That's what I had to say about the Pelicans. All right, in the winner circle, obviously the Golden State Warriors won. Their only thing they needed to do this summer, really, I mean, you could talk about what they might need to do, but the one thing that was on their list, sign Draymond Green. That's all you needed to do. You needed Draymond Green, you know, great versatile defender, and I like his personality too. A lot of people don't like when people just keep it real. Like Kyrie Irving, you know, said that if they were healthy, they would have won the championship. And Draymond Green said, if I was 6'11", I would be Anthony Davis. I love that fucking response. I hate political correctness. Fuck political correctness. I love it. But yeah, anyways, that's all y'all needed to do. Y'all gave the Celtics David Lee, so I guess so, you know, us Celtics fans could feel better about ourselves a little bit. And yeah, you know, you didn't need to do much. I mean, you could go out and search for another big man if you want, just because the Spurs have really bolstered their front line. But other than that, you know, you guys played really good last year in small ball. So, you know, props. Warriors did what they needed to do. They're ready to protect their title. You know, just keep improving as a team. And yeah, Warriors, you guys made it into the winner circle. The Milwaukee Bucks, I love this. I love seeing young teams, young and upcoming basketball teams, especially in the East, because the East is so fucked up. You know, for the last like 5 years, it's never hard for anyone to get out of the East. And the Bucks signed Chris Middleton. They re-signed him, and then you signed Greg Monroe. Now, I encourage you to look up what the Bucks front line looks like. I mean, not front line, their team, what they look like. They got Michael Carter-Williams, Middleton, Parker, Antetokounmpo, and Monroe. That team is really tall and really long as far as like their limbs. They are really, like, I think you saw if you watched the Bulls series, they made life absolutely miserable for the Bulls because the defense was so good. You know, a young and upcoming team, definitely. And I like the signing. Now really all it is just improve. Just don't do anything stupid like the Sixers would do and start trading your talent, you know, a year after it becomes good. Just, you know, keep it together, grow for years to come. And you guys, you know, you got something good. At least y'all are going to be in the playoffs next year, I think, especially in the East. So, yeah, next. I'm going to save them. I'm going to do the easy ones first. The Cavaliers. I think the Cavaliers won no matter what they do. Because let's be honest, they made it to the finals last year. And they, you know, they more or less almost won it with just LeBron James. And the only goal, even though they haven't really signed Tristan Thompson back, the real goal here was to get Kevin Love back. No matter how many people, you know, don't know what they're talking about saying you guys don't need Kevin Love. I mean, he's pretty vital. I'm telling you right now, the guy, Kevin Love is the guy that you want on your basketball team. You sign him. Obviously, you sign LeBron. Then you went out and get Mo Williams. I mean, the Cavs don't need anything else, really. As long, you know, I mean, I still think they should get J.R. Smith back, but they're fine. Like, they got Mozgov there. You got LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin. I mean, that team, the beautiful thing about the Cavaliers, even though I hate big threes and overpowered teams and all that, you lock Kevin Love up for 5 years, which means that LeBron James, Kyrie, and Kevin are going to be playing together for pretty much the next 5 years. That team is going to win a championship sooner or later, unless injuries ruin them again. You know, it's never really that hard to get out of the East unless it keeps on, you know, improving like it's doing right now. it's never that hard to get out. I mean, they won. That's all they needed to do to win. You know, even if they lose Tristan Thompson, they just needed Kevin Love to get back there. I don't think they should let Tristan Thompson walk, but he's being difficult because they already offered him as much as he's worth, if not more, with $80 million, and he turned that down. It's like, he's a great rebounder, but I don't know who told him he was worth $100 million if that's what he's looking for. So anyways, Cavaliers have already won. They had their shit together, already almost won the finals. You didn't need much, and I don't even think they should be allowed to have much more on. Well, that's not fair because the Spurs just stacked up too. That's a different combo for a different day. But Cavs are in the winner circle, obviously. The Miami Heat are definitely in the winner circle because, you know, if you listen to my old commentaries, I was ready to say that the Miami Heat, you know, I was ready to put D-Wade in the Bulls jersey like on my YouTube series. I really thought he was gone. And y'all locked him up, gave him, you know, I hate how people talk about Dwayne Wade like he's Amari Stoudemire or something. Like, the dude had one knee issue last year that I remember, had some hamstring problems, but when he plays, he's still better than most of the league as far as shooting guard goes. And people are talking about Dwayne Wade like he's like old and can't walk, and like he's Stoudemire, like he just can't produce anymore. Like, D-Wade is still one of the best doing it. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You needed him. You got Dragic back, which is good because I didn't know if they were going to be able to keep them both. And then they made a good move, and they're potentially going to make another move at the time of this recording. They signed Gerald Green, which is very, very good move for the bench. And then they're supposed to be signing Amari Stoudemire, and that's going to bolster an already nice front line with Bosch and Whiteside. You get Amari Stoudemire behind that, and I know, like I was just talking about him, right, not being as good. I mean, he's obviously nothing compared to what he was, but he's still a big body, and he can still do something. So Miami, if they can stay healthy, that's all it was. Last year, people were saying, oh, it's because LeBron left. I mean, no, of course, they had something to do with it, but it was mostly that they couldn't ever stay on the floor together. If they're healthy this year, they got a really, really nice season coming. I can't wait to watch it. And then that guy, Winslow, who fell to the Miami Heat, like, I don't know how he fell that low, but Winslow fell to the Miami Heat. They got a nice team going next year. I pray that they can stay healthy, and we might finally get that Wade-LeBron rivalry in the playoffs that we've been looking for. So Miami Heat, thumbs up. You know, you did what you were supposed to do, and you know, you got a little bit more too, because I think the bench definitely needs to be filled out even more. The bench has to be filled out on that team to make them contenders again. So yeah, okay, yeah, the Clippers. I kind of mentioned them earlier. Clippers definitely won free agency. They went from an F to an A very, very quickly. And I'm glad JJ Redick called him out, because letting you know, they got Paul Pierce, and I was like, oh man, Paul Pierce, DJ, Blake, CP3. I was like, this is and then they got Lance Stevenson too. I was like, man, this is a championship team, because if they didn't choke last year, I mean, they could have won it all. And then they let DJ walk, and I was like, wow. I was like, you know, how are they going to replace that defense and rebounding? What are they going to do to make that up? And they don't even have a backup center right now. Of course, they went ahead and, you know, they basically held him hostage. You know, went to his house and did not let him. I mean, they went to his house and they didn't let him talk to anyone else. So they won free agency big time, because, you know, I understand DJ can't shoot free throws. He has no post moves, but he's a very, all you have to do is watch him play to see what he brings to a team. Freakish athlete, very good for that system that can provide him with offense, you know, with Chris Paul there. Defense and rebounding, so valuable to that team. Y'all won by locking him up. You know, whatever shady practices we used to do it, like I said, you know, I already went over that at the beginning of the video. You know, I didn't want to spend too much time, because we've all talked about it to hell by now. And yeah, Clippers, they're looking really good next year. With the Clippers, it's almost like they got to do it now, though, because like they choked last year, which they should have. In my opinion, I really thought they were going to win the championship at a certain point last year. Up 3-1 on the Rockets. I was like, man, this might be the team to win it, and they choked it hard. And it's like, who else do they need? You know, they got Paul Pierce now. You got Lance Stevenson. They're talking about trading Jamal Crawford, but I'm saying keep Jamal Crawford on this team you guys have now. Are you kidding? Like, this is a kick-ass team. Austin Rivers has a bigger role now. Like, if you guys need any more than what you have to win a championship right now, then I don't know what to tell you. But you might need more, because of these guys right here. Well, actually, the last team that I have in the winner circle, which I might have forgot some, like I said, because this is already pretty much at 30 minutes. I just kind of wrote down what was on my mind for free agency. The San Antonio fucking Spurs. How do they keep doing it? I'm about to rant for these dudes right here. San Antonio Spurs, first of all, I was born in 1995. Started watching basketball in about 2003. So it's the San Antonio Spurs have not been sorry for all of my conscious life. I say I gained consciousness like where I can actually remember my life at about 3 or 4 years old. You know, so basically all of my conscious life and definitely all of my basketball fan life, the Spurs have not been bad yet. They haven't even been close to bad. They made the playoffs every year, keep winning championships, and every year we talk about, you know, oh, you know, when is it going to end? When is Ginobili and Duncan going to call it off? When are they going to retire? Sorry, I thought I heard something. Yeah, we keep on talking about that every single year, and then here they sign Kawhi Leonard. They raise him into, you know, NBA Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and we're like, okay, they got Kawhi and they're raising him to give him the keys once the big three are gone. But I think we saw that, you know, it's gonna take more than that, because the same thing with Rondo, like with the Celtics. You know, when we all assumed when KG and the big three left that Rondo was gonna have the keys, and then they left, and they, you know, he couldn't do that by himself. Same with Kawhi, he wouldn't be able to do it by himself. But then you go out and you sign LaMarcus Aldridge, biggest win in free agency since damn near like LeBron went to the Heat. That is such a huge W. And here's what I'm looking at. It's like, okay, so Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge. Kawhi is younger. LaMarcus is he's gonna be 30 years old soon. So it's safe to say that he has about four prime years left, I would say. So him and Kawhi are going to be able to, you know, they got this team on their shoulders for a while. But I think what's cool, though, what I'm trying to say is that you have the San Antonio Spurs, you have the old team that's been competing for a championship forever now with Duncan, Manu, and Parker, and you have the next guys that are going to be competing for a championship already on the squad. You know, it's not like they have to, you know, let go of these three and then go find somebody. They're already on the team. So you have the new team and the old team competing with each other for a championship. That's fucking amazing, because I think we've seen in history with every big three that we've seen constructed, they all end up, after the big three is gone, they have a rest period where they suck. Like the Celtics, we've done it twice now. We suck for, we're not, okay, suck is the wrong word right now, but we're significantly less talented than we were. And, you know, you have that period where you go through where you're just not that great, and then, you know, finally you find something. It's like the Spurs have their next wave on the team with the old wave. That's crazy. I don't know how they did it. And then they went out and signed David West. David West took he took an $11 million pay cut. $11 million pay cut to play with the Spurs. So next year, you're going to have Tim Duncan, who was already better than pretty much every power forward in the NBA at this age, which is amazing. Going to have LaMarcus Aldridge and David West. Then you still have to worry about Kawhi Leonard, Tony Parker, Ginobili, Danny Green, who they signed. You know, and then they just did a low-key move actually and got Jay McCollum from the Kings. And I think we all know, you know, with the San Antonio Spurs, I mean, we've seen it. If history repeats itself, they can win with whoever. I mean, they take players that wouldn't be shit if they were on another team, and they make them into good system players for what they need. I mean, it's just incredible to see what the San Antonio Spurs team has done. And I'm going to be fair here. They're stacked. You know, I always talked about, you know, if you've been following me for a while, I always say that I hate stacked teams. I hate, you know, overstacked teams and all that stuff. I hate to see competition be stifled by one team that's so much better than everyone else. But, you know, this is a special case because Cleveland is stacked, so somebody has to be stacked to stop them eventually. I mean, you know, I said that the Warriors, you know, still might have beaten Cleveland this year if they were healthy. We don't know. We'll never know. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, I did say they had a better chance to win, though, you know, with those guys. The chance was definitely better. And when the Cleveland is healthy, that team is so amazing. It's like somebody else has to be stacked to stop them. I mean, LeBron has all this shit around him. I don't see why the Spurs can't. You know, this is just the future. I mean, stacked teams are what it is now. Didn't like it, but you can't stop progress. So, yeah, that's my rant on the Spurs. You know, no clue how they did it, but that's a huge W. If they can stay healthy, I think we can go ahead and crown them champions. That's amazing. So, yeah, that's what I have for NBA free agent frenzy. I'm pretty sure since I wrote these down so quick that I forgot some teams. You can tell me in the comment section just leave your thoughts in the comment section about everything. I mean, if you have a team, if you're mad about certain things, tell me specifically how you feel about DeAndre Jordan's move. Because like I said, I'm not mad at him, but I also feel like the moratorium period should be eliminated to protect the teams, because it's kind of not fair to you know, be locked up in one team, locked up in one player, and then he dips on you like that. Tell me what you feel about anything on your mind as far as NBA free agency. And yeah, I skipped over some teams like the Celtics and stuff because, like I said, you know, we just didn't really get a whole lot. You're allowed to agree, disagree, all that good stuff. And right now, I am also working on the next, you know, you can call them montage mix. They're more like stories. You know, I just did the park mix in my last video. I'm doing one for Kobe next before I do something else. So I'm doing the next Kobe one, so that's being worked on right now. I just wanted to get this out, and yeah, this was you know, way more exciting free agency than I thought it was gonna be. Maybe some stuff is gonna happen in between the time I record this and it goes up. Maybe it's not. I'm gonna try to get this up as quick as I can for it. So yeah, just leave all your thoughts about anything free agency related. Excuse me. I'll respond to them, see what you think, and yeah, I'm out.